Hey, Hatapu, Hatapu. Glad to see everyone back. Thank you so much for joining us today. Sempu Kamut, founder, Kemetic Aha and Sama Association. Glad you're here with us today as we begin moving into our Sama section. So we'll begin doing a little more of what most folks would consider yoga, or what we like to it's really Qigong is to have body movement, manipulation, and breath, along with intent and sound. So we'll be doing some of those things today. What we're going to do is to get into one of our meditative postures, and we're going to do some deep breathing before we get into a few minutes of meditation. So we'd like to get that in. It's been a while since we've done that. So we're going to get that in today towards the end. But first, what we're going to get into, of course, is our Shiasha, all over body check-in, a little bit of Asar Stance, a little bit of Qigong, because we're going to spend a little more time on the breathing exercises today. And then we're going to get into meditation. And it will end with, as usual, our wisdom from the sages of the ages, and then our closing Shiasha. So grateful that you all have chosen to be with us today. So on this auspicious day, let's get it in. All right. Let's bow in. To all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. Teacher to student, student to teacher. And that's right, I said we were going to do it, show this one sitting down. So we have the chance to remind folks, and I'm doing it with my leg crossed, but you can also do it with your heel on the floor, change direction. And by doing it that way, for those folks that aren't able to stand, when we do this, wiggle the toes, then one toe at a time. It lets you know that all the work that we do, we can do standing or seated. Okay, we're going to switch legs here. All right, we're going to go ahead and get it in. Change direction. All right, wiggle the toes. And then start with the big toe. Working our way down all the way to the pinky toe. All right. We'll sit tall in the chair, get those legs down 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Work the shoulder. And then take it to the front. Then work the other shoulder. And to the front. All right, and bring the first hand up. Make sure that elbow is tucked under. Get the hand. Change direction. Then you're going to wiggle the fingers. One finger at a time. Slide in a little bit here. Get that arm in. Again, you want it in full range of motion. So you're going to bring it up, down, and around, full range of motion. And then even when you change direction, full range of motion. Full range of motion. Wiggle the fingers, one at a time. All right, hands on top of those knees, 90-90. And we can begin rotating. All right, we're looking over this left shoulder. We're going to go up and down. Change directions. Then we're going to go up and down. Front and center. Then take the head around in a circle. On your next in-breath, take the head around the opposite direction. On your next in-breath, bring it right back to front and center. All right. So we got the all over body check-in. Now let's get it in. All right. We're going to start here with feet parallel, shoulders width. We're going to check in. It's been about 6 weeks or so since we talked about working on building up our Asar stance, getting that moving again, getting it where it needs to be. So let's just have the hands come sunrise over the mountains, bring the hands right here like we were working on in terms of our self-defense applications. So now that the hands are here, I want you to breathe in through the nostrils. And as you exhale, lightly clench the jaws and hum out. In and hum out. Again, in. Last time, humming out. Let those hands come down, shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. And give you a moment to write in your notebook or your journal that you're keeping where you felt that in your body, okay? As we started, the first time we started, many folks said that the vibration didn't come about past their neck or out, not past the shoulders. And so that as we've been focused, doing our Asar stance, doing our form, we want to be able to see, has it extended now? So it's like beyond, and you can feel the vibration in the shoulders, in the chest, resonating in the belly, along the spinal cord, because with the butt tuck, you're unifying upper and lower body, down the legs, through the legs. You're feeling it in the toes, in the feet. Where are you feeling it in your body? All the way out to the fingertips. Share with yourself so that you can go back and check and see how that was from the last time we did this exercise. All right, now, I'm going to do a very brief Asar stance, so that way we can get into the rest of our piece. We want to spend a good bit of time in the meditation today to get y'all the experience of the deep breathing that we're going to be doing in the space of real relaxation. So let's bring it in here and let's step. The body weight balanced, and let's go. Pyramid hands. Shift the weight, bring the foot in, shake it out. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Feet parallel, shoulders width. Bring the hands into the calm position. 2 breaths. Palms facing forward, 2 breaths. Into the do-up position, pivot, step. 4 breaths. Stepping back. And we're going to do a little brief swinging arms. All right, that'll swing. Sinking down into open the chest and stretching the back. Last one. All right, let's shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Get in position to the form, feet parallel, shoulders width. Sinking down, sun rises, and into the short form. All right, now we're gonna have a seat. Get to a good spot. All right. Now, we're gonna do our breathing exercise. You can get to a simple lotus, crisscross applesauce, whatever's gonna feel most comfortable for you, all right? Palms up. Take that left arm, block off the nostril with the thumb, and let's go, breathe again. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. Release. Exchanging hands, no breath. Breathing in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. Out. Both hands. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. And out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. Chin down. And release. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now, I want you to find a comfortable spot on your back. You've got a little mat here. So what you do is just lay down, comfortable spot. Okay. Toes, heels, knees together. See, we good? Yep. Arms at the sides. And you want to keep the knees bent, as that keeps the pressure off of the lower lumbar region of the spine and lower back. Allows the buttocks to get a little stretch on the lumbar there. So what we're going to do before we start is bring one leg in. And if you can, bring the other leg in. We're just going to hold them and rock from side to side lightly. Okay. Press it in and kind of rock back and forth with the head up. All right, and gently put those legs down. Toes, heels, knees together. Arms can be relaxed at the sides, or they can be crossed over the chest, like so, right over left. All right. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to breathe in, expanding the belly. As we begin exhaling, contract. Using our bellows, breathing in, out, in, out. Keep on that pattern. Want to see your whole body relaxing. As you're breathing with the bellows breath, you want to see candlelight in the center of the belly here. And with each breath, that candle becomes a roaring fire in the belly, just expands and expands, and is now a roaring fire in the belly. I want to see at your feet, rising up from the earth, the golden white healing energy of the earth, rising through the soles of the feet, filling the Achilles, the ankles, rising up the shins, rising up the calves, through the knees, and then now coming through the thighs, the groin, the hamstring, on into the reproductive region, the hips, the waist, passing the exit energy portals, filling those. The lower body is filled with light, and this pure healing light merges with the burning fire in the belly, and they're merging, they become pure light. And it continues to rise, filling the intestines, colon, kidney, liver, spleen, pancreas, gallbladder, adrenal glands, lungs, heart, continuing to rise and express itself through the shoulders, down the arms, through the upper arm with the tricep and bicep, down through the forearms and through the wrists and hands, all filled with light. Then it comes and rises through the shoulders into the neck, rising up, curling around the chin, back of the head, through the mouth, the nose, the ears, eyes, coming up through the crown of the head. Now the whole body is filled with light. Continue your breathing. Your next in-breath, I want you to feel that light expand around the body, and so that your whole body is contained within an orb of gold and white light. It's like an egg protecting you. You are inside, filled with light. The light is so profound that it expands beyond the body and becomes a protective circular orb around the body. And while you're here, with this white light surrounding and protecting the body, you want to see a golden pyramid. So within the golden pyramid, you see a white orb. In the heart of the pyramid is a place of timelessness, of preservation, of initiation, energy, transforming. And while you look inside that golden gleaming pyramid, there is the white orb. And you look inside the white orb and you see yourself protected, whole, healing, safe. Continue to breathe. And you want to see in the center of your forehead a golden ankh placed there, representing the light and the receipt of the eternal life that is being transformed and transfixed as being timeless. In this space, you are being preserved for the work that must be done, to heal yourself, to allow your body to relax, to be at rest, to acknowledge it's being protected. Utilizing the deep breathing bellows technique. Continue. See the body whole and protected, protected by the orb, allowed to transform through this initiation, through this protection, this preservation, this feeling of timelessness provided by the golden pyramid. Body just breathes. Breathes the life into it. Exhales what will no longer serve us. As you continue to breathe, you want to release the golden pyramid. Allow it to go from you. Return to the ancestors. You want to release the golden ankh from the center of your forehead. Eyes are closed, we're still breathing. You want to see the orb of protection recede slowly within the body. You want to feel the light slowly exiting, coming down, separating from the crown, coming down the front of the face, down past the chin, past the neck, down the chest, all the way down to the reproductive organs and the waist and hips, and down through the thighs and the groin, through the knees, down the shin, on down through the feet and the toes, and returned back into the earth. I want you to feel the peace in which the body has returned itself, knowing that that roaring fire in the belly slowly slowing down, becoming the candlelight. Knowing that the light and fire of life that burns within us, we can aid ourselves with this meditation to cause it to grow and expand. Use it to heal ourselves. Use it to aid our practice and in our everyday lives. So now, let the light and candle return to where it came, that it may continue to do the bidding and healing of the body. Slowly open your eyes, blinking rapidly to adjust and then slow down the blinking rate. Slow it down. All right. And as we come back to being in the room, in the body, you can slowly sit up. Check in with your body. Check it in. Both sides, body should feel relaxed. At peace, and hopefully some of you didn't drift off to sleep during that. But if you did, that means that you got the relaxation part down. Excellent. So our next session, what we'll be doing is we'll continue to work with the body in this way. First, we're doing this particular meditation because it's a healing meditation. So a healing white light meditation. The next meditation that we're going to do is somewhat similar, but it's going to be one that's a sleep aid. And so we're going to talk through what you do and how that works, and then begin to explore the way in which we use our core work for the martial arts core. We'll introduce what that first set looks like, and then we'll do a set a week for the classes, so we'll get everything done this month. So you'll have an opportunity to, at the end of this month, know the full core workout that we use in terms of our martial understanding. And then as we move forward through the rest of the month, we'll get into the rest of the other parts of the body. So hopefully this has allowed your mind to relax a little bit. You're at peace and yet still energized. So with that, let's get to our wisdom from the sages of the ages, shall we? So glad everyone's here. Really hope you enjoyed that. I want you to know you can always return to that space. It's always accessible to you. That is the beauty about having this temple we have been gifted. And when you take care of it, it will in turn take care of you. We're going to start with the essence of Tai Chi Chuan, the literary tradition. And it's talking about, this one comes directly from expositions. Actually, this is a Tai Chi Chuan Lung. Here it is. There are many boxing arts or wrestling arts. Although they use different forms, for the most part, they don't go beyond the strong oppressing the weak and the slow resigning to the swift. The strong defeating the weak and the slow hands ceding to swift hands are all results of the physical, instinctive capacity and not of well-trained techniques. Teachings of Ptah Hotep. All right, so here we go. Check this out. If you are one among guests at the table of a person who is more powerful than you, take what that person gives just as it is set before you. Look at what is before you. Don't stare at your host. Don't speak to them until they ask. One does not know what may displease them. Speak when they have spoken to you. Then your words will please the heart. The man or woman who has plenty of the means of existence acts as their Ka commands. They will give food to those whom they favor. It is the Ka that makes their hand stretch out. The great ones jibe to the chosen ones. Thus, eating is under the direction of God. It is a fool who complains about it. All right. Tao Te Ching. Discriminating virtue. One who knows others is wise. One who knows themselves is enlightened. One who conquers others is strong. One who conquers themselves is valiant. One who knows contentment is rich. One who acts with determination has high aims. One who has not lost their proper abode endures. One who dies and yet does not perish becomes immortal. So I'll take from the prophet. And so this is from the one in which it should be him speaking to the people right at the very end. It says, for this, the prophet is speaking, for this I bless you most. You give much and know not that you give it all. Verily, the kindness that gazes upon itself in a mirror turns to stone, and a good deed that calls itself by tender names becomes the parent to a curse. And some of you have called me aloof and drunk with my own aloneness. And you've said, he holds counsel with the trees of the forest, but not with men. He sits alone on hilltops and looks down upon our city. True, it is that I have climbed the hills and walked in remote places. How could I have seen you save from a great height or a great distance? How can one be indeed near unless they be far? And others among you called unto me, not in words, and they said, stranger, stranger, lover of unreachable heights, why dwell you among the summits where eagles build their nests? Why seek you the unattainable? What storms would you trap in your net? And what vaporous birds do you hunt in the sky? Come and be one of us. Descend and appease your hunger with our bread and quench your thirst with our wine. In the solitude of their souls, they said these things. But were their solitude deeper, they would have known that I sought but the secret of your joy and your pain. And I hunted only your larger selves that walk the sky. But the hunter was also the hunted. For many of my arrows left my bow only to seek my own breast. And the flyer was also the creeper. For when my wings were spread in the sun, their shadow upon the earth was a turtle. And I, the believer, was also the doubter. For often I have put my finger in my own wound, that I might have the greater belief in you and the greater knowledge of you. And it is with this belief and this knowledge that I say, you are not enclosed within your bodies, nor confined to houses or fields. That which is you dwells above the mountain and roves with the wind. It is not a thing that crawls into the sun for warmth or digs holes into darkness for safety, but a thing free, a spirit that envelops the earth and moves in the ether. And then the Masnavi. The messenger of God advises Ali. Since everyone seeks proximity to God by means of an act of worship, seek proximity through companionship with the special sage and servant of God, so that you can excel all the rest. The prophet called Ali once to his side. Lion of God, brave hero of my pride. Don't count on courage on its own to cope. Take refuge too beneath the tree of hope. Enter the realm of that pure intellect, whom no opponent can from truth deflect. His shadow is just like Mount Coffin's size. His spirit like the phoenix soars the skies. We could continue with this man's applause until the end of time without a pause. He is the sun, though human in our sight. Please understand that God knows best what's right. Of all the good deeds on the path, Ali, you choose God's special slave as sanctuary. Others perform each single righteous deed, so from their carnal souls they might be freed. Instead, step in the shade of this true sage to flee that hidden enemy's tight cage. Of all the acts of worship, it's the best. It makes you that much better than the rest. If he accepts, surrender to the guide, like Moses with his master KhASA once tried. Stay calm. Don't question what he should commit. So he won't say, enough, here's where we split. If he destroys their boat, don't you go wild. Don't tear your hair out if he kills a child. Since God has said, his hand is as my own, and up above, Their hands get rest alone. With God's own hand, he slays the helpless boy to let him live with pure, eternal joy. Whoever tried this journey on his own, the guide still helped. He didn't walk alone. The guide's hand is for all across the land. It has to be then naught but God's own hand. If absent people can gain gifts galore, those present with the guide must gain much more. If absent men receive such gifts for naught, imagine what his personal guests are brought. You can't compare his faithful followers with those who choose to be mere onlookers. Don't be too squeamish when your guide's around, as weak as water, crumbly like soft ground. When each blow leaves you bitter, don't expect without pain like a mirror to reflect. With that, I want to thank you for joining us on this glorious day. Haruna Fair, good day to you. Hachapu, peace. Ong Uja Sanev, life, health, and strength to you as we bow out and we say to all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. Teacher to student, student to teacher. She, recognizing the ancestors, giving homage to the eternal witnesses of the earth and sky, bids you hatep. Ong Uja Sanev. Amen Re Nesut Necher, Aten Re Neb Enoch. Hachapu.